Got the Spot Hogg Fast Eddie XL triple stack bow sight. I'm going to show you how to level this sight, and then at the end I'll do a review and my honest opinion on it, what I like and don't like about this sight. This is the newer version. There must have been an older version. I had them when they first came out, and I got the newer version here. So instead of an L bracket, when you're getting this set, I'll zoom in here and show you. But there's two pins now, and you can move it left or right, so you got a lot more windage adjustment there. So really, it's a little bit simpler than the L bracket because you don't have to worry about flipping that around. You basically just have to loosen up one screw, and you can move it left or right however you need it. But I'm going to throw this on the bow here and get it leveled up. So I personally like my bow sight as far in as I can get, but with this Fast Eddie XL, you have the dovetail mount. You have a lot of room, so you can have it really close or really far away. So that is one nice thing about that. But also, if you do like it shorter, it is a lot of extra added weight here. So this is the updated version. I don't believe the old version had this. So this is your second axis adjustment. There's a screw on this side and then the opposite side, and that's actually going to move your scope housing to get your second axis set to your rail. So what I like to do is I'll take a hamski level here, and I'm going to throw it on the rail itself, and then I will adjust the sight to match the level on the hamski. One thing, when you set the level onto your rail, make sure you're not blocking those screws. So this is straight from the factory. You can see that is pretty close to level, and the rail is pretty dang close, or the rail is level now. And this is straight from the factory. So that is pretty level. I'm just going to make just a little bit of adjustment to it so you can see how it works. There we are, perfect. So it does take a little bit of time, but once you get it set, make sure that both sides are tight. And then you kind of just slowly adjust each side, and it's pretty easy to get set, and you shouldn't ever have to worry about it moving on you. So now I have my second axis set. Right, so now that I've got my second axis set, I'm going to go ahead and set my third axis. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it with the hamski tool and put the vertical pin on it. So just like I've got it here. So this pin screws in and out into the hamski level. What you're going to do is put it onto your riser. You're going to draw a level line, or you can use a door jamb, and you're going to angle your bow down or up. Down's probably a little bit safer. And then you're going to put the top point and the bottom point right on that level line as you're drawn back. And that's going to introduce a little bit of how you're going to torque the bow. And you're going to check out your level and see if your level's off left or right. And you're going to make that third axis adjustment. The other way, just to kind of start off, is throw your bow into the bow vise like I have it here, angle it down, and see which way your sight's off. I'm going to throw the level onto the riser here, and then I'll show you how the bubble's off a little bit and show you how to make that adjustment. Okay, so I got the bow level. It's just a little bit to the left-hand side. So I'll show you how to make that adjustment on the axis. To adjust the third axis, you're going to loosen and tighten these screws here. So this one, and then this Allen screw. And what you'll do is you'll loosen up one, tighten the other one, and make sure that they are both tight. So that's going to pivot the sight. And if they are both tight, then you won't have to worry about it moving on you. It'll take a 5/32 Allen wrench. Okay, so now the sight's level and the rail's level. So now our third axis is set. Okay, so now that I got that set, I highly recommend going and shooting in your third axis. So the easiest way to do that is take a target, draw a level line on it, and shoot uphill and downhill at that level line and see if you're consistently hitting to the right or left. Make little fine adjustments to your third axis. And what that's going to do is it's going to involve your hand torque and kind of how you anchor the bow. So when you shoot it in, it's going to be the most accurate. And then if you go shoot targets or hunt with it, it's going to be set and perfect. So I highly recommend that you actually shoot in your third axis. I'm just going to talk about a couple of features on this sight. So you have the triple indicators for your sight ring, so that's pretty nice. You have the elevation lock, so you can lock it so it won't spin. This is what I was talking about earlier. So this used to be an L bracket, but now they have changed it out. So you got several rooms for left and right adjustment just by removing this screw and then lifting it up and sliding it over whichever way you need it. So that's pretty nice. A little bit easier than the L bracket, in my opinion. You can put a sight light in here, the micro windage adjustment, and then you can lock it in. You don't need an Allen wrench for it. Pretty easy to unlock and lock it. So that's pretty handy. You do have the exposed gears here. I've never had any problem with it, but I could see something maybe getting wedged in there. So that is one thing that could cause an issue. So right here is going to be your set screws that lock the 3 pins in. And then on the bottom here is how you move them up and down by adjusting these 3 little set screws. So my honest opinion on this sight, and the good and bad, is I do think that this could be a little bit shorter, so I do wish that they offered a little bit smaller dovetail. Just there's a little bit of added extra weight there. I really like the triple indicator. That's really nice. The sighting process is pretty easy for the sight tape. You're going to put on the calibration tape, and you're going to shoot in your top pin at 20, and then what you'll do is you'll take that same pin and get it sighted in at 60, and that's going to give you a number, and then you just add that number tape to your wheel, and that should get you pretty close. You might have to make a little bit of minor adjustments there. I do really like that this sight has a ton of different mounting options for your scope housing, so you can move it up and down, and then you can also move it left and right quite a ways, so you have a lot of adjustability just there. I like that you don't need an Allen wrench to set your windage. You can basically just flip this lever, do your micro adjust here, and then lock it back in place and you're set. I like that it has the elevation lock here, so your wheel will not turn on you. And then you can also keep this all the way up and move your scope housing to get it set so you have a positive stop. So I like now that they are offering this little rail lock. This comes with the sight, but what it does is it just slides onto your rail. Then you got 2 set screws, so you'll have to remove the bottom screw, slide this on, and then wherever you get your 20 sighted in at, you'll tighten that up, and then it'll give you a positive stop. So that way you have a 0 point, so if you're sliding, you'll come back up and it'll hit that, and now you'll be set. So that is another nice little feature that they added to this. One other thing that's pretty nice is they give you 3 scope rings, so you can change these out. The green and yellow is supposed to help you center it. I don't know how much that helps or hurts, but it is nice because it gives you several different points that you can center your peep with, and it also gives you different sizes. So If you like a 1/4 inch peep for hunting because you like the light, you can pretty much find the right scope housing that's going to fit that. And they just screw off really easily. And then you can just change it out. So you can just change it out with whichever ones that you want or prefer. Some people don't like the different colors and might just want a single color. I do believe you can get different colors. Not 100% sure on that, but this is just what comes with the sight. Sliding part, it is really smooth. Really no play in this sight at all. It's really solid. The wheel is a little bit tough to kind of just grab onto super easily, and I think this lock is kind of gets in the way a little bit, honestly, but it is nice to have that lock, and it's nice that it's big so you can easily grab onto it. But the adjustability on it, you got a ton of play with this rail. It moves a lot. So I think you're definitely going to run into your arrow before you run out of play in this rail. I also really like that with this triple stack sight, you can adjust each pin individually. So you can get 20, 30, 40, 20, 35, 50. Kind of depends on what your speeds are. But it is nice that you have 3 indicators that you can individually move to set the yardage of what you want. Another nice feature when you buy this sight, it's good for the dovetail anyway. It's going to have an Allen set screw to lock your dovetail in place, but it also does come with the knob as well. So if you're always sliding your sight in and out, it is nice that it comes with that as well. One thing that I mentioned earlier that could be a downfall to the sight is the gears are exposed here. You can, as I showed earlier, I could see something possibly getting wedged in there, especially if you set your bow down. I could see like a piece of grass or something getting stuck in there. I've personally never had any problems with it or found any issues. This is a really bulletproof sight, but with that, it does have a little bit of weight to it. So that is the downfalls of this sight is it's a little bit heavy. And then also you do have the exposed gears. But this is a bulletproof sight. I've never had any issues with one. No pins breaking or anything like that. Really good brightness on the pins. It's a really good sight. If you are in the market for a sight, I highly recommend checking this out. It does only have the 2nd and 3rd axis adjustment. But with it, I did check it to the rail of the bow, and it is... I did level the rail to the riser just to see how close they were, and it was very close to my bow. So really not a huge issue there. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this to be helpful. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and stay hidden.